A student pulled out a gun and shot two other students at a high school in southeast Maryland Tuesday morning before he was fatally wounded, authorities say. Austin White Rollins, 17, entered Great Mills High School in Great Mills at the beginning of the school day and used a semi-automatic handgun to shoot a female student in a hallway, Sheriff Tim Cameron said. A male student also was shot. There is an indication that a prior relationship existed between the shooter and the female victim, Cameron said. Details on a potential motive are not yet clear. The 16-year-old female student was transferred to the ICU at Prince George's Hospital Center, where she has life-threatening injuries, Cameron said. The 14-year-old male victim is in good condition, according to the MedStar St. Mary's Hospital. Rollins has died, Cameron said. On this day we realize our worst nightmare, that our greatest asset, our children, were attacked in a bastion of safety and security, Cameron said. The student opened fire at 7:55 a.m., Cameron said. Terrence Rames, an 18-year-old student, told MSNBC that he and his friends were talking in the hallway when they heard a gunshot. Student witnessed shooting at MD High School. We were just standing there talking and we heard a loud shot, like a few yards away from us, Rames said. Rames said he and his friends started running to the main road outside and saw others flooding out the main entrance. If you don't think this can happen at your school, you're sadly mistaken. We are shaken but we are very strong at St. Mary's. St. Mary's County Public Schools Superintendent James Scott Smith said. The shooter and a school resource officer each fired a round, but authorities don't know if the officer's bullet killed the suspect, Cameron said. The officer, whom Cameron identified as Blaine Gaskell, was not hurt. Shooter dead, two students injured in MD School shooting. When the shooting took place, our school resource officer, who was stationed inside the school, was alerted to the event and the shots being fired. He pursued the shooter and engaged the shooter, during which that engagement he fired a round at the shooter, Cameron said. Cameron said the shooter fired a round simultaneously. Cameron said Rollins was armed with a Glock semi-automatic handgun. In the days to come, through a detailed investigation, we will be able to determine if our SRO's rounds struck the shooter, Cameron said. The school was locked down and the incident was contained, according to the school's website. Cameron told News 4 that his department prepares for emergencies. But despite the fast response of the school resource officer, or SRO, two students were still shot. You train to respond to this and you hope that you never ever have to, he said. This is the realization of your worst nightmare, that, in a school, that our children could be attacked. And so as quickly as that SRO responded and engaged, there's grievous injuries to two students, he added. Now begins the second phase of this operation, and that's the background in the investigation and the attempt for the school to return to normal, a Twitter post from the St. Mary's County Sheriff's Office asked parents not to report to the school. They were asked to go to nearby Leonardtown High School to reunite with their children. Family members of the students parked along roads and in nearby shopping centers as they rushed to meet their kids. One recent graduate hurried to pick up her sister, who texted her that she was terrified. Agents of the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives were traveling to the school to assist with the investigation. Governor Larry Hogan said he was praying for the victims, their loved ones and the community, but prayers are not enough, he continued in a statement. Although our pain remains fresh and the facts remain uncertain, today's horrible events should not be an excuse to pause our conversation about school safety. Instead, it must serve as a call to action. Maryland's Senate joined the House Monday night to ban bump stocks, which enable a semi-automatic rifle to mimic a fully automatic weapon. School shooting incidents since 2013. Everytown.org defines the incidents mapped below as any time a firearm discharges a live round inside or into a school building or onto a school campus or grounds, as documented by the press and, when necessary, confirmed through further inquiries with law enforcement or school officials. Incidents in which guns were brought into schools but not discharged are not included. Source: Everytown.org. Last updated on March 20, 2018. President Donald Trump was made aware of the shooting, and the White House is monitoring the incident, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said on Fox News. The shooting comes 4 days before the National March